Hello, I'm Julie Ratner, co-chair and founder of the Ellen Hermanson Foundation. So happy to be with you today. My guest is Mady Schuman, the Executive Director of the Ellen Hermanson Foundation. I am so thrilled to introduce you to her today, and I'm going to hand the picture over to Mady.
Thank you so much, Julie. This is absolutely wonderful. Thank you for asking me to join you on Breast Friends, an adorable and wonderful and absolutely compelling name. And thank you for inviting me to join the foundation as the executive director as the foundation enters its 30th year in 2025. I can't be more excited. I've been a not-for-profit veteran for over 35 years, and I care deeply about women's health. And this organization is the quintessential example of providing absolutely critical, life-saving, and life-affirming services to women.
You're absolutely right. You know, I just want to point out the music. Did you hear it?
Yes, I did. I was
Simple
wondering what
Gifts.
it is.
So
I love it.
For those of you, there is a specific reason why we have Simple Gifts as our theme song. Ellen loved Simple Gifts, and when she was very ill and in the hospital, one of her favorite things to listen to was Simple Gifts. It brought her peace.
That's wonderful.
And it lessened her anxiety. And so anything that Ellen loved, I loved, and it's a way to perpetuate her memory. In fact, everything we do at this foundation, in a way, relates back to Ellen and who she was, her care about other women who didn't have the resources she had, the access she had, and so much of what we do. And our mission statement actually comes from her, posthumously, it comes from her. And that's why we have all this outreach to women who are medically underserved and at risk.
Yeah, we've created an incredible legacy for women's health care on the East End. I'm not sure if I think everybody out here knows Ellen's Run. It's a beloved event that we've hosted. This is going to be the 30th year. It was really the beginnings of the foundation.
Exactly.
There are almost 1,000 runners, mostly locals, and many of them survivors who have benefited from the work of the Ellen Hermanson Foundation. But again, I think there's a disconnect between Ellen's Run, which everyone knows, and the Ellen Hermanson Foundation, which is really the generating force behind all of our programs and services. And I think that's one of the things as we enter our 30th year to really make that distinction and really showcase the work of the Hermanson Foundation.
You're 100% right. I see the Ellen Hermanson Foundation as the big umbrella, and under it is Ellen's Run, the Ellen Hermanson Breast Center, and Ellen's Well. But none of this would exist without the Ellen Hermanson Foundation. We are the umbrella, and everything comes under the umbrella.
And I think the other very important piece of this is that we serve very marginalized and underserved women in the community through our community partnership program. We work with OLA, we work with the Retreat, we work with the Bridgehampton Childcare and Recreational Center, and we work with Shinnecock Indian Health Clinic. And these women in particular have the need to be serviced, to be served, to get proper health care and attention, and to not worry about the urgencies, the necessities of daily living. We've been told over and over again that there's food urgency, that there's no childcare, that they don't have transportation. Well, our foundation takes care of that with micro grants to these constituents and allows them to make their appointments and get the services and health care they deserve.
You are 100% correct, because breast cancer is the physical part of the disease, but it affects the whole person. It affects the family, and it affects everything, and if you are a woman who struggles and you can't, food is important, transportation is important, heat is important. And so through our partnerships and the grants we give, we are able to help support those needs, which is also part of healing, because no one should worry about how do I feed my children?
Absolutely.
Or how do I get to my chemotherapy or my treatment?
Exactly. I think what's really important for everybody to understand is that 1 in 8 women in this country will be diagnosed with breast cancer. White women, there are more white women who are diagnosed because we have access to detection and treatment better than marginalized women. But the death rate among the communities we're serving through our partnerships has a much higher mortality rate, and that's why our services are so critical. I don't think people really realize that. I mean, I don't think there's anybody who's watching this program who doesn't have someone in their lives who hasn't had cancer or been affected by cancer. But when you look at it, and it's 1 in 8 women with breast cancer, and it is so curable if it's detected early, that makes the difference. And that's why what we do at our breast centers in Southampton, in East Hampton, and in Hampton Bays is absolutely critical. We're servicing the women of the East End of Long Island. Last year alone, we provided over 8,000 procedures, including free mammograms.
You're absolutely correct. And what you are talking about is our mission to ensure access to state-of-the-art quality breast health care, regardless of a woman's ability to pay. And we all know that early detection is the best protection.
Absolutely.
And the earlier someone gets into the health stream, the medical stream, I don't know, pipeline, as they say, the better the outcome will be. And it's really critically important that this happen. And I know with our community partnerships that there are still women we're not reaching, and that we need to figure out a way to reach more women who will benefit from our services. Really.
Absolutely. I think what's really wonderful is that we have so many incredible partners in the community itself. I'm thinking of the past month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month was October, and how the communities, the various communities out here rallied to support us. I want to give a special shout out to Jeff Lynch and the Hampton
thank you.
Jitney, because he gave us an ambassador bus, which we were able to wrap in a glorious pink with a fabulous image, and it was a roaming billboard up and down
There's
the
the
LIE.
image. You
There's
see
our image.
image.
That was what the bus looked like. It was a giant pink bus, and I hope everybody got a chance to see it. But it was really amazing, and for Jeff and the Jitney to do this for us is just, testimony to how this foundation and the people we served are in the conscience and the consciousness of the community leaders like Jeff. So I think it's very important. I mean, the local school in Pearson High School in Sag Harbor hosted their final game of the year, a volleyball game. It was their final varsity volleyball game of this season. And they did a bake sale, and they sent us an enormous check. We couldn't believe it.
It was so
wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And numerous stores are queued up now in this holiday season to have open houses for us.
We're having two. One is at Zadig and Voltaire,
in
which
East
is going
Hampton.
to be, I think, on December 21st. And the other one is at Jennifer Miller on Saturday, December 14th. And at both of these sales, there's a wonderful discount, plus 15 to 20% of the sales will come back to the Ellen Hermanson Foundation in the form of a donation. And the products are fabulous,
Yes.
great for gift getting for families.
Absolutely.
And I want to also mention that the Ross School,
Yes.
their varsity volleyball team also had a game, and they made a significant contribution to us also.
I think what's really important about this is that the community, I mean, from retailers to schools, really care about the organization and the women in this community. And that's what's so important about the work we do.
And I think it's important because unlike other organizations which are in the Hamptons or come to the Hamptons to raise money, the money leaves the Hamptons. We are very specific and clear that the money we raise here stays here because this community needs it.
Yes.
And unfortunately, the Hamptons is so much more than what we see in glossy magazines. I had a conversation with a friend recently, and I said, the Hamptons are not actually all that rich. I know what the magazines show and the summer folk who come here, who are important. We welcome them. They spend money here. They come to the stores and the restaurants, and it's absolutely wonderful. But that is not necessarily representative of the Hamptons. The Hamptons have so many hardworking families and people who work more than one job, two jobs. And They are the backbone of this community. And those are the people we serve because they need our services. And that is not noblesse oblige. It is really recognizing that this is an extraordinary, diverse community of wonderful people who deserve healthcare in their own community. It's a human right for them. And they deserve it. And it is our honor to work in this community and provide that.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. There's a huge immigrant population here who, again, as Julie said, are the backbone of this community. And, you know, do they feed their family? Do they have the transportation to get to their care? I mean, we know that so many appointments are canceled because a woman simply can't get to her appointment. So the fact that we provide these wonderful microgrants is truly life-saving. It really is. I think another piece that's very important for us to recognize, and again, I think it's reiterating what Julie said, is that we provide health care and services here locally. We are a local organization. Every dollar we raise, we're a funding organization. We raise funds and in turn re-grant them to our partners, to the Southampton Hospital, our breast center at Stony Brook Southampton Hospital. And we really take care of our own, and that's what's most important. We're not, as I like to call it, a carpetbagger organization. And, in the summer, there are all of these galas from, New York City-based organizations, and money goes back to the city. Well, when we hold our events, all the money stays here. I'm making a very important point for people to recognize and understand, and that's why we are so important to this community.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And we feel a need. And I want to also comment on the Ellen Hermanson Breast Center because it has been named a Breast Imaging Center of Excellence by the American College of Radiology. Why? Because the equipment is stunning. It is stellar, up-to-date technology. And it is part of our mission to make sure that the breast center is always up-to-date with the latest technology. Again, because people in this community deserve and to have the latest up-to-date technology. No one should have to leave this community to go to an academic medical center in New York City or Up Island to get that kind of quality treatment and care. And that's part of access to care, is to know that you are having access to state-of-the-art technology that can find lesions. We have three-dimensional mammography. Dr. Edna Koppenhaus, who's the medical director of the Ellen Hermanson Breast Center, is going to request a new piece of equipment which will make localizing a tumor so that it can be extracted more accurate and faster. I believe.
That's pretty close.
Yeah. Oh, I think I'm describing it properly.
Yes, you are.
And so that's amazing because that will be available to every woman who comes to the breast center who needs, unfortunately, further diagnostics.
Do you want to talk a little bit about our 30th anniversary coming
know I
up?
do.
And it's a good segue.
Okay, so we have our 30th anniversary coming up. And with that in mind, we've also changed our look, which you all saw when they put this lovely picture up. So we are really planning wonderful big things for our 30th anniversary. This is our time to make an impression, to get the word out so people actually know more about us. We are on a campaign. And Mady is brilliant. You are brilliant.
Thank you.
And you are full of amazing ideas, whether it is for how to make our gala bigger and better, how to do an event in the spring, how to
Secure
apply for grants.
monthly giving is very important.
Yeah, monthly giving. Mady is a virtuoso at this, and she is actually educating me along the way because I love to learn. And thank you. And so tell us, because you're the thought person. You thought of these ideas, and each one is better than the next.
As we've said, the foundation is actually a funder. We raise money to give it away. So it's very important for us to be able to keep pace and be able to grant more each year to our partners, to the hospital, to our Ellens Wells. So with that in mind, and because it is the 30th anniversary, it's I've sort of conceptualized 2 monthly giving programs. We have a small but very devoted donor base, and I think we can really engage them further with something that I've called Ellen's Circle. Since it's our 30th anniversary, I thought it would be wonderful if we could capture people at $30 a month. Which would, over a 12-month period. So it's a yearly program at $30 a month. It's very traditional. The other thing I came up with is called Bosom Buddies. A mammogram costs $120. To many in our community, that is just prohibitively expensive. So I've come up with another idea, again, Bosom Buddies. For $120 a month, you would fund 12 mammograms, which in effect has the potential of saving 12 women's lives. So those are a couple of the things we're going to try to pilot in this coming year. We're looking at a new spring event, possibly a luncheon at a local vineyard or lovely venue out here, but I think we need to sort of enhance our profile, not just in the summer, but in the spring, because there are so many full-time residents out here now. And our summer gala and Ellen's Run are also in the mix, and we're looking for significant corporate sponsorships this year. And I hope anyone listening who has any interest or any good names to provide, that you get in touch with us. I'm happy to work with anyone on how to secure smart funding for the Ellen Hermanson Foundation.
Thank you. No, that's absolutely perfect. And we are always show appreciation and gratitude, because we couldn't do this without everyone here, from the funders, you, our board, the board of the Ellen Hermanson Foundation, the extraordinary volunteers who help us all the time and show up. And so many of them, by the way, are breast cancer survivors. And one of the reasons why they do it is they say they feel the need to play it forward because someone helped them. They want to, in turn, help other women and make sure that they get the services they need. It's
Exactly.
very, very important that they do that.
I think Julia said it perfectly. There are wonderful opportunities to work with us, to support us, to engage with us. We're always looking for new volunteers. We have a very tiny staff. We're all part-time employees, so we're really lean and mean. I'm not so lean, but I can be mean. And
No, you can't be mean. Yeah.
But I think it's very important for this to be sort of a call to action. This is an opportunity on the show to ask people to come in and really engage with us. We're here. We've been here for 30 years, and we're always looking to engage new constituents.
You're 100% right. I used to say, I hope we'll get put out of business.
Yes.
Because that would be the best thing in the world. However, I don't think we're going to be out of business for a while.
Right.
I keep up fairly well with reading about breast cancer, and right now the San Antonio Breast Cancer Symposium is taking place. And there's always new research, so much work that's taking place, and yet I don't think we found a scientist could say something, would maybe disagree, but there are so many root causes with breast cancer. It's not one disease, and there are different types, and each different type, whether it's HER2 positive or triple negative, requires different treatment. And that's part of also what we do by making sure that women get into the pipeline. If a woman is diagnosed, that she can get the support and the care and the treatment she needs. For me, it's always, in addition to raising money, which I feel like I'm always out begging a little bit, is can we help save someone's life? Ellen's life wasn't saved. She had wonderful treatment. The science wasn't there at the time. But the proof is in the pudding. How many women do we get to the breast center? How many women are treated? What do they say about their experience? And I know that we've been keeping track of this for some grants that we're applying for.
Yes.
To hear what women say, how they don't feel alone, how Laura Davis, our registered nurse practitioner outreach coordinator, will take someone by the hand and walk her through. Take her, what she needs.
They'll help her navigate
Exactly.
her journey.
And I think it's important to say that at the Ellen Hermanson Breast Center, or even at our foundation, because I receive calls very often from someone who doesn't know what to do or how do we help them, that we take everyone in. We hold space for everyone, and we try to make sure that we get these women, because it's mostly women. I've never received a call from a man, that we can get them what they need and get them to where they need to be, and that they're not alone. They don't call us and get some sort of a blank, stupid answer that doesn't mean anything. It's not helpful.
Absolutely. It's so incredible. We're applying for a rather significant grant, and one of the things we need to provide are sort of patient or client testimonials. And I reached out to our extraordinary oncological social worker, Edel O'Brien, who's been with the foundation for many years, and she sent a note to some of her former patients. And we got dozens and dozens of the most exquisite testimonials from these women whom she helped really navigate and cope with the trauma of breast cancer, both during treatment and afterwards. I mean, there's considerable, and everyone knows that there's considerable PTSD after you've gone through the cancer journey. And she has helped these women and their families, men included, and children, navigate this and really come out, so much better. But I've never, in 35 years in the not-for-profit sector, in similar, not dissimilar kinds of organizations, I've never read more glowing, more positive, and more grateful testimonial to the work of this organization.
We were so lucky in 2000 to meet Edel O'Brien. She is, in her own way, she's a miracle worker. She literally saves lives because she can walk people back from the brink. I always feel like she's a wise woman. She's like the medical woman, the medicine woman.
Yes, she is.
She's so wise, and she's deeply spiritual. And in that, I think she's able to help people going through this connect with their more spiritual self, their calmer self, a level of understanding or maybe acceptance of what is taking place. And that doesn't mean that acceptance of an ultimate fate, that they're not going to survive, just acceptance of where they are right now in this journey of breast cancer.
Sounds like, Edel would be helpful to anyone, I think. But she's extraordinary. She really is. When I speak to her, I feel so much better. Any anxiety, anything that's on my mind, and she picks it up even on a phone call or on a Zoom.
She has a way of teasing it out. The
She
conversation always
teases
turns.
it out.
I just talked to her before we came here.
Oh, yeah, to
And
get you prepped for this.
Right, exactly. And so it was like about me. I was asking her, how is it in Florida? I know that one of her relatives during the last hurricane or lost, their house was very severely damaged. So I wanted to talk about her relative. Lo and behold, we're talking about me. I feel like I'm her life project.
That's Edel.
She has a lot of life
blessed. And
projects.
we're blessed with board members who have supported Julie. Julie in many ways has been a de facto, unsalaried executive director for all of these years. And she has surrounded herself with wonderful, caring, and devoted board members. And we're really fortunate to have their support and their commitment. And, we're hoping to grow the board this coming year as well.
Absolutely.
And again, this is also from me a personal call for volunteers. If anyone sees this program and wants to help us, I think the phone number is on the screen, or you can get to us and you can go on our website. We've updated and revived and revised our website.
We should talk about the website.
Yes, talk about the
Because
website.
the website, in honor of 30 years,
Yes.
our website has a new look.
Yes.
It is it's beautiful. It's easy to use. And it's, by the way, it's ellenhermanson.org.
Yes.
If you need to know. I know it's going to be on the credits, but it's ellenhermanson.org. And our phone number is 631-907-1952. And we welcome phone calls.
Yes.
And we're always available. We are not you don't have to go through gatekeepers and gatekeepers
Right.
to get to us. We're always available.
And a staff. There's no staff director. It's me and Julie.
No, but the thing is, we really want to speak to you.
Yeah, we do.
We always have time. We're
Yeah.
never too busy. I found out that sometimes I'm running around to do something, and someone will call me and say, "I was just diagnosed," or "Something has happened," and they'll say, "Are you busy?" And I'll always say, "No, I'm not busy." And because
Well-
it goes to the front burner on the stove, so to speak. It goes to the
Absolutely.
top of the list because if someone's in trouble or needs our help, that's what we're here for. And I think that has helped us with the people in those glowing testimonials because we are accessible. We're completely available, and that no person, no woman should ever have to experience this alone. My sister Ellen experienced it alone in the beginning. When she was first diagnosed at Lenox Hill in New York, after her biopsy, she was told she had breast cancer. Basically, it was a long time ago when they had tokens. Handed a token and said, "Good luck." No one said, "We're going to give you a list of doctors. We're going to help you out with what you could do." And so when I found out, I'm a trained librarian, so I get research, I get all that because I love reference work. And I said, "I'm going to help. We'll do this together." So she wasn't alone. And also, we have a family that's very supportive, so we're all there.
She was lucky.
Too
She
many
was
women
very
don't-
lucky to have you, and her legacy lives on in the work of this foundation. I think she's probably looking down from wherever she is, and whatever you believe in, she's there, and she knows what has been accomplished in these past 30 years. I mean, it's truly extraordinary. It really is on very little money, on minimal staffing and infrastructure. You've supported thousands and thousands of women.
I always say, do you remember that book by Waddy Piper, The Little Engine That Could?
Yes, a little.
So we're the little engine. And we schlep along all these big engines because we have heart
Yes.
and because we're determined. And because when I started this, I wanted Ellen's life to have meaning that went on beyond her short time with us. I'm watching the clock and I see that we have less than a minute to finish. So this goes so quickly. Is there anything you want to say in closing?
No, I just want to say how grateful I am to serve this organization and this community. I've lived here since the early 1980s. And I've known of the organization since its beginnings. I participated in Ellen's run very early on. But to see where it has come and what the potential is extraordinary. And I thank you for watching this show. Hopefully you'll get in touch with us and we'll see you at one of our many events that's coming up in the next year.
And happy holidays and all the best in the coming year. In good health.
In good health.